Hello class. So in this class we are going to start a new chapter, that is idea of algorithmic efficiency. This is your chapter 7 and lecture number 1. So in this class we will study about what is an algorithm, what is an efficiency of an algorithm, what is computational complexity, big O notation, dominant term and calculating complexity. So these are the topics of this class. So the first one is, what is an algorithm? In your previous class, you also learned about algorithm, that whatever we are writing in a specific way or in a procedural way, that is a algorithm. So algorithm is a method or procedure for accomplishing a specific task step by step. So whatever you are writing, that is in a step by step form, it is a algorithm. For example, how to prepare tea. So you people know how to prepare tea. First, we need to boil the water. Then we add some tea leaves, sugar and milk. Then pour it into a vessel. Okay. So by this, you will prepare the tea. So in this, a method is there so that you will follow each step one by one. Next is adding two numbers. So when you add two number, you people need first two variables. So you will ask from the user to enter two variables. Then you will store these two variables into a third variable and performing addition. And then you print the third value, print the sum. So by this way you will add two numbers. Here also you follow a procedure. So anything that is in a procedural way and that perform a specific task step by step, it is your algorithm. So next is, what is an efficiency of an algorithm? Okay, so how will you measure the efficiency and how the algorithm is efficient? How will you measure it? So when you use a low amount of resources and the less time you will use, so that algorithm is the efficient algorithm. Okay, these two are the important points, that you have to use the limited resources and in lesser time. Okay, so this is the this way you will say that this algorithm is efficient. So the efficiency of algorithm depends on the two factor. The first one is the internal factor. In internal factor, you have again 2 points, that is time required to run and the space that required to run. The space means the memory of the system. And the second thing is external factor. External factor, that are the controllable to some extent. And what are these? That is size of input, speed of the computer and the quality of the computer. Since the external factors are controllable to some extent, mainly the internal factors are studied and measured in order to determine an algorithm's efficiency, or we can say the complexity. So complexity of algorithm is determined by studying and measuring the internal factors affecting the algorithm. So these two factors are the important one, the internal one and the external one. So next is, what is computational complexity? So this chapter is going to introduce how you can determine or measure efficiency on algorithm in terms of the computational complexity. So this computational complexity is made of two words, that is computation and complexity. So the computation, this involves a problem to be solved and the algorithms to solve them. Okay, and the complexity, that involves the study of factors to determine how much resources is sufficient for this algorithm to run it efficiently. Okay, so these resources are generally include the time and the space. Okay, time, that is okay, so time that to run the algorithm and the space that is needed to run the algorithm for the space complexity. Okay, so next is big O notation. So this big O notation is depict an algorithm's growth rate. So by this way you will calculate your uh, you will calculate the performance of the algorithm, that this algorithm is efficient or not. Okay, so this growth, the growth rate determine the algorithm's performance, that how efficient is this algorithm when its input sizes grows. So it is a method to determine how faster or slower an algorithm. It is represented by capital O followed by opening and the closing parenthesis, for example O n square. Okay, so for example, if we can see an algorithm that take O n square time, so this means that this algorithm will carry out its task taking at the most n square steps for input size n. So when you this n is the input size, and when you calculate its complexity, then it says O n square. It is the answer. Okay. Okay, next is the dominant term. That what is a dominant term? This term is also important. This big O notation that indicates the growth rate, okay, that we know. So this big O, capital O, is a function with parameter n, where this n is usually the size of the input to the algorithm. So more the input size, more impact it can have on the growth rate of the algorithm. So this dominant term that affect the performance most. Okay, it will decide that what is the performance of this algorithm. Okay, this dominant term will decide. For example, here a n square plus b n plus c. So in this uh, example, this a n square has the highest one. So it is the dominant term. This a n square. This one. This a n is the a n square. Okay, so this a n square is the dominant term, and if you want to calculate the big O notation, so it will give you the O n square. Why this O n square? Because this a is the constant one. This a is the constant, and this n square is the big O notation. The complexity of this equation is n square. O, capital O, n square. And if you want to write the n, small n also, okay, this is also correct. It will not give you any error or any kind of mistake. So capital N and the small n, you can use anyone. Okay, so the complexity of this is capital O, n square. Now next is calculating complexity. That how will you calculate the complexity? So there are total 5 ways for calculating the complexity. So 5 guidelines for finding out the time complexity of the piece of code. So the first one is the loop. You know, the running of loop is at most equal to the running time of the statements inside the loop, okay, including the test. So it multiplied by the number of iteration. So for example, in this loop, this for I in range I comma n. So this I comma n means it will run 1 to this n minus 1. Okay, so it will print I. So this here there is a constant term, that is time. Okay, so this loop will execute it by 1 to n minus 1 term. So the condition evaluates to false and the loop terminates without executing the body. So if you want to calculate the complexity, then it will calculate by the total time. How will you calculate? That is n minus 1 multiply by t. T is the constant. So when you calculate it, it will give you this t. This is answer nt minus t. So this t is the constant one, and this one is the dominant term. This one. This is the dominant term. So this t is again constant. So when you calculate the complexity, so it will give you O n. So this is the answer of this loop. Next is nested loop. So what happens when there is a nested loop? So to compute the complexity of nested loop, just analyze the inside out. For nested loop, total running time is the product of the size of all the loop. So in this, again, it will give you n minus 1. It will run the loop 1 to n minus 1. Okay. So now for k in range, this is the n. So this loop will run. So this inner loop that executes n time. Okay. So n time, and then it will print hello. So all these steps take the constant time, say t. This is your constant time. So how will you calculate? So first you have to multiply this t into n minus 1 into n. Okay. So when you calculate this, it will give you, when you calculate it, this statement, this is n minus 1 multiplied by n multiplied by t, it will give you n square minus t and nt. So these are the statement. Here also this t is the constant one and this one is your dominant term. Okay. So when you calculate the complexity, this t is the constant. So the answer is O n square. So by this way you will calculate the complexity of nested loop. Now next is the calculating the complexity in consecutive statements. Consecutive statement means the statement that are executed one by one. So here this for I in range, now this I, the value of the I loop will run 1 to n minus 1. Okay, again it will run n minus 1. So here this print I, now this is again a new loop, it is not a nested loop. So here when you calculate this one, so this n minus 1 is multiply with t1. Okay, it will multiply with t1. Again for j in range, the n, so here it will calculate till n. Now again for k in range n, and the complexity is for j, the printing statement, print j. So the complexity, this t2 is the constant one. So this is the nested loop. So here in the previous slide you notice that when there is a nested loop, then you have to multiply it. So here this n multiply with n and multiply with t2. Okay. So here you have to calculate this. So this n into n, this is n square plus t2 multiply with t2. Okay. So this n minus 1 multiply with t2. So this n square multiply with t2. Now answer is n t1 minus t1 n square t2. So this one is your dominant term. Okay, this is the dominant term. So the answer is this one. Okay, so here is the answer. This is the answer, O n square. So this is the complexity of the consecutive statement. Next is calculating the complexity in conditional statements. Conditional statement, when you have the if else, elif, okay, and many if else statements are there, then how will you calculate? So in this, if x is equal to 5, then print welcome, then else for I range n, print I multiply by 2. So here this is the n1. Okay, now it will here x is equal to 5, it is again check, this is a condition, so it will also take some time. So the time is constant here. Here for printing statement also the time is constant. So the total time is t1 plus t2 and then n multiplied by t3 plus t4. Okay, so when you calculate this, so all are the constant, this one is the dominant term. So this is your answer, O(n). Now the fifth one is logarithmic complexity. So when the logarithmic complexity means that an algorithm's performance time has the logarithmic factor. For example, the algorithm, okay, so the notation of an algorithm is O log n. So if it takes a constant time to cut the problem size by a fraction. So it usually cut by 1 by 2. So the example of the algorithm that having the logarithmic complexity is binary search logarithm. Okay. So, but the best performance is not always desirable. So there can be a trade-off between the ease of understanding, writing and debugging, and efficient use of the time and space. Okay. So in this class, you will learn that what is algorithm and how will you calculate its complexity, what is big O notation. So these are very important term. You okay? So you have to just revise again, see the video, revise the topic and make notes. Okay, and your homework is you have to make notes and write it in your notebook. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.